Hello everyone and welcome to the Riordanverse news, your one-stop spot for everything Riordanverse, whether it be books, adaptations and everything in between. This is the place you want to be, so be sure to hit the subscribe button before we get into today's news because we have a lot to get into today. So let's dive into it. First up, obviously we had, as you all have seen on the channel, a mini update in the form of a blog from Rick just the other day. I'm going to continue to do a little bit of breakdown of that in this episode, so you can check out the previous one if you want a little bit more to the point video, but I'm going to give a little bit more detail on what was in that blog here. So let's go in. So first up, in Burbank at the Disney Studios, they were doing chemistry reads with the Percy, Annabeth and Grover possible actors. Now that means that they were doing a bunch of different combinations with various different actors for each of these roles and seeing how well they worked well as a trio, because obviously the trio's chemistry and the trio's, balance of each other is a very important thing to the dynamic of these characters. If it doesn't work, well, you're going to be able to tell. So the fact that they're doing this is a really good sign. And also, as it was posted on Twitter somewhere, it means that our Percy, Annabeth and Grover may have already met and just don't know it yet, which is very exciting and also really touching at the same time, because that's a really sweet thought to have. It also notes that Denise, Charmaine and James Bobin, Denise being the casting director and James Bobin being the pilot director, were involved with helping out with the chemistry reads to kind of make sure that they were working well together and knew the direction that they needed for this particular chemistry read scene. And now I'm wondering which scene that they did. I wonder if it may have been the one when they're on their way to LA or something like that. Or maybe it's at the campfire when they've helped save a poodle. Something like that. It'd be interesting to know what scene they did for the chemistry read. But for now we can only speculate. Next up, for news-wise, we found out that they're going to be actually doing the filming and work for the production on Mammoth Studios, a place in Vancouver. Fun fact, as I mentioned in that mini update, it is next to the production of Shogun, a samurai-based show. And Rick thought it was really exciting to see that it would possibly have demigods fighting in one soundstage and samurais in another. They even go on to show in that blog various different images of what the soundstage looks like and the fact that some of those places are going to be where Percy, Annabeth and Grover are going to be walking together, which is very exciting. And also I love that we're seeing that straight away. Like, Rick is giving us everything and we appreciate that about him. Additionally, we also found out that Tish Monaghan is the costume designer for the Lightning Thief season. Doesn't necessarily mean that she's the only one and that she'll be the one for all of them, but the fact that she is here for this is very exciting. And she's been looking through the Lightning Thief illustrated book to kind of get ideas for costumes. Fun fact about Tish though, Tish was the costume designer for Twilight and the Diary of a Wimpy Kid film. And, both things. We've got fantasy with Twilight and also we've got kid-related media with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So she's very skilled in what she does, so it's great to have her on board. Next up we have Dan Henner, the production designer, who, if you recognise that name, it's because they're an Oscar winner from the Lord of the Rings film. So we have an Oscar-nominated production designer on our team for Percy Jackson, and that's amazing. And they're already working on production set designs for Auntie M's place, I don't even remember what it was called, but also Sally Jackson's apartment, Mount Olympus, all these sort of things. And the fact that's coming to life is exciting, and the fact we have an Oscar-winning production designer on Percy Jackson is just mind-blowing. It is then said near the end of the blog that Rick and Becky had a lovely meal with Dan and Chris Henner and James Bobin, who are obviously all involved in the production. And they were able to have a lovely dinner, and it's also been confirmed that June 1st is, in a sense, the concrete-ish filming date. Because obviously we don't fully know what's going to happen, but that is the hope that June 1st is going to be the first day of filming for Percy Jackson, which means possibly in the next couple of months, if not in the next couple of weeks, we could get confirmation for casting announcements. So stay tuned for that and hit the subscribe button, because that will definitely come here on the page, if not first, but definitely very soon after we get those announcements. Oh, I don't know if this is official, but I've seen it somewhere and I can't remember where it came from, but I'll be popping up on screen here. But we seem to have gotten another somewhat official Percy Jackson and the Olympians TV show logo. So, you know, it looks very cool and I quite like it. And I think this may be the official one, but I've not fully checked that. But continuing with production-based things for the adaptation, we also got a photo from James Bobin showing that he is currently out scouting for the show for different on-location sets. Now this is interesting because it means that we're definitely going to be getting, you know, in a stage area set, so that's where they are in Vancouver at Mammoth Studios, but also getting on-set locations. So the good mixture of these things means that we're going to have some real in-life places that we can go visit in the real world alongside, you know, more kind of visually beautiful areas that are kind of more handmade than actually there. But that I love a good mixture of that sort of stuff, and I like that we've got, in a sense, confirmation of this, that soundstage and on-set locations. We love that. But that is actually all we got adaptation news-wise. There was also the mention on Rick's blog that they were also talking with the Disney execs about the Daughter of the Deep adaptation, but nothing further has come from that other than they're having a few more conversations, which is good because it means things are progressing, but we haven't heard anything else about that. But this was mainly just for the Percy Jackson adaptation, and things seem to be moving full steam ahead really, which is always nice to hear. The only other additional news that we got isn't related to the adaptation, but it is Rick Riordan Presents authors related, in that Roseanne Brown's upcoming mythology series, So Botang's Guide to Vampire Hunting, has actually started having advanced reader copies sent out. Even Gracie Kim and JC Savants have shown their copies of the advanced readers, and I don't know who else may have gotten them. I wish I was getting one of them. Maybe I could ask if I could get one. But the fact that it's out means that there is hype building up for it, and we love that from Rick Riordan Presents authors. There needs to be more hype. So, by the way, if you haven't yet read any books from the Rick Riordan Presents imprint, I highly recommend looking into it. I'll be linking the page to all of the authors and all of the books from that series in the description box, so if you can, check them out, because we could always do with more support for diverse mythology series and stories. But that is all the news that we have this week. I know it's kind of a little bit of a continuation of what I was saying the other day, but you know, we've got a little bit more additional stuff from that. But it's all very exciting. I love the fact that things are moving forward, and just it's sticking with me so much with the fact that our future Percy, Annabeth and Grover may actually have already met. Don't know yet, or maybe finding out soon. Mind-blowing, exciting, I seriously can't wait. Remember, these are going to be children. Treat them with respect, do not be a dick, and everything will be fine. I'm just saying this now because I've already seen some people saying some things, and we do not need that. These are children, leave them alone. If they don't meet your expectations, that's on you, not on them. Leave it alone. I'll end it here now. So thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Riordanverse News. Of course, as always, in the description box will be the links to all the stories for today's news. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because every Friday there will be new news here on the channel, as well as other Percy Jackson related content. And yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.